Hello, and welcome back to the Coup de Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Tommy and Noah as we recap, review, and riff about Aston Villa versus West Ham United. We will be talking about all that and the EFL action from midweek against Bolton, and that's coming up after this. Okay, so we were back at Vill Park, second home match of the season, West Ham United with the visitors, and both teams were struggling, Noah, coming off that midweek match against Bolton where we were disappointing for an hour, and then, sort of the quality shown in that last half hour. We got the points, we got the 4-1 win in that one. We got through to the next round, but the home... The form in the Premier League was what was the real concern, and it continued last night with just another terrible result and not very good performance.
No, the first half was all right, but yeah. I'll tell you what, when it's going against you, it's going against you.
Yeah.
That goal 9 times out of 10 deflects either straight to the keeper, deflects wide, but no, lobs Emmy to perfection. West Ham scored their first goal of the season and win the game. But I think we actually lost the game at half-time, really. West Ham made a very, very positive substitution, went from 5 at the back to 4 at the back, and actually took the game on, and they game at us.
Yeah.
And then our sub, we probably took off one of our best midfielders, taking off Louise, which still blows my mind, to be honest. And I think a lot of people on social media showed exactly the same thing, like Simon again, and Dan Bardell actually put a good tweet out, which I can read out as well, which I got saved. He goes, utter madness to take Louise off and go back to the midfield that hasn't been working. I assume he wasn't injured. As soon as Louise went off, lost all stability and control of the game, easy to play through.
Yeah.
I think Louise was furious.
No, yeah, keep going, Tommy.
So I was going to say, Louise was actually furious when he came off, and I know we slayed him, and, maybe it's 1 in every 2 that's good, whatever, it's still decent enough for us. But, he's playing with passion. He knows he's playing well. Why take him off?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, we've been calling all week for the last few weeks for the midfield to be sorted out, and Douglas Luiz was certainly one we wanted to see given a chance in there. And like you said, Noah, we were pretty good in the first half. We were a lot better than we had been, right? So there was definitely an improvement in the working of the team, the sort of the energy levels and all that sort of thing. But taking him off when
it hurt.
He was putting in some good set pieces as well and that sort of thing. It didn't work, and I don't think many of the other changes were very positive either. Cameron Archer only getting 3 minutes, Bailey getting sort of 8 minutes.
Bailey did look okay though. I think. Yeah. Bailey's worst attribute, in my opinion, is he tries to do way too much with the ball. Like, so many times he tries to run through 5, 6, 7 players and try to that wonder goal to get rescue as a point, then turns it over.
But I'd say that's in the side we're in at the moment. I think that's actually a bit of a positive that he tries to take people on, because nobody else has the confidence to do anything at the moment.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't too disappointed with Ramsey coming on. I was more disappointed it wasn't for McGinn. I know, to be fair, it's probably McGinn's best game of the season. He's been pretty crap for a while. We all know that. But I think the best sub would have been JJ for McGinn. I mean, look at the goal. McGinn completely loses Fornals. Fornals gets lucky with the goal. It's a great pass from Rice, who, by the way, had played woeful in the first half, Declan Rice. And then puts that pass. He was in that much space, and then, goal. Just honestly, I predicted the game as well, though, didn't I? I think I said in the group chat, we're going to lose. Before a ball was even kicked, I thought we were going to lose the game. And that's the confidence most Villa fans have at the moment.
Well, if you think about it, we started our 2 bench centre-backs.
Chambers was good, though. Chambers was good.
Chambers is awesome, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, he's still going to be always surplus to requirements. I don't know why. I think you should be starting with Carlos. We all said that. His positioning's awesome. Honestly, I saw you predicted 4-1, you prick. I thought 1-0, it could have really gone either way. It's not like the floodgates open for them once they did score. So I think our defense held up, if anything.
But I will say,
I think the problem...
It's been 4 centre-back partners in 4 games.
Four
to
different
start
games,
a Premier League season. That is mind blowing. You know, like you got to think 2 seasons ago, I think it was Mings and Konsa all year. Very rarely did that change. And saying like last season, Konsa got injured, but Chambers came in. Mings, you know, it was very, very steady, the back 4 for a very, very long time. And it's very weird having 4 different pairings in 4 different games. That's something that obviously Gerrard wants to work on and get stability. Obviously, Mings was sick. I think this game would have been perfect for Tyrone Mings. I think it was a bit of a scrap. I mean, I'd love to see Cash and Digne throwing their bodies at everything. Like that counter-attack they had, which was Digne's fault. They both hummed back and put blows on the line. And
that was a good challenge to make up for his error.
I mean, they harped back, but West Ham exposed us. West Ham exposed us, sadly. It was like a 3-on-2, and you know, fortunately for Digne's last-ditch tackle, I mean, we shouldn't have been in that position anyway.
That's the passion we haven't had for a couple of weeks, though, Tommy, in my opinion. Like,
but also it's a big gap in our defense. That's been our problem all along. You know, we've got holes in the bucket. Let's go pour more water and sign a striker. Like, that's Gerrard's logic. I think the general consensus is if Gerrard goes, Perslo's got to go with him because that's his man. He backed him, and honestly, like, we make jokes, but it's like they've got the old Liverpool band back together.
Well,
and it's not working.
We'll talk about that in a moment. I just wanted to get to like the game, finish off with the game because I think the first half we spoke and we said that we played well, you know, in some respects with like the effort, the energy, all that sort of stuff was much better. But I think we also lost the game in that first half because West Ham was so negative. Like, they were there for the taking.
They were so bad.
They were there for the taking. They had no confidence in themselves. They couldn't pass the ball, but we didn't have the belief to actually go at them, throw everything at them, and, you know, get that goal when we were on top.
Exactly. But that's something we've had an issue with all season. I replied to a tweet last night. Let's see what I said, but it was saying,
hey, you are just the man on Twitter lately.
I'm always on Twitter because everything's on Twitter, right? I mean, Tommy, you don't even use your account anymore. Tommy 347.
I can't even log in, mate. What do you mean?
But I think we have barely had any key chances besides the goals we've scored. Can anyone remember us testing a keeper in a decent chance?
Literally, man.
Like, we scored 3 goals. That's it.
But that's our lack of attacking potency. And well, look, Ollie's been good, but you know, we're lacking a lethal forward. You look at Newcastle, they signed freaking Isak. Yeah, probably overpaid for 70 mil, but guy's talented as shit.
Yeah, he is talented.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
But with the front 3 we've got, right? The front 3 we've got is incredibly talented. Incredibly talented. And Bournemouth, by the way, lost 9-0. And we looked so shit against them.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible to think that we lost 2-0 to a side that just lost 9-0. That is, I mean, that does say it all right there. If we can't compete with the likes of Bournemouth, then it's going to be a very, very long season.
We said it. I think I said it a while. I said, how many games did Gerrard get? Do we have to be like 10 points out of the clear, you know, or behind? You know, still in relegation scrap to finally get rid of him? Or do we pull the trigger early, cut your losses, you know, here's your severance package, Stevie, you know, and we bring in someone and hopefully can start stringing some wins together because we haven't got an easy run of 2 fixtures coming up, that's for sure.
Well, that's what, if we do, we lose the next 2 games, he will be the worst Aston Villa manager like on stats in history.
Well, yeah, I think he's now officially the favourites to be the first sacked, right?
I don't want to hear this, you know, you know, look at this team, they gave them time. Yeah, also, they didn't give them a war chest full of money. You know, so I think we need to be realistic here.
Carlos's injury it's really hurt us, I reckon.
Is it though, or that has exposed Steven Gerrard? You know what, one centre-back signing that's going to save our season? No, it really wouldn't have. Let's be real.
I'm saying he's so good.
Oh, absolutely. It's a massive loss, but I mean, Steven Gerrard can't mask his problems just through one centre-back signing. Yes, he addressed the problem. It was nice for a manager to actually address a problem we all saw for ages. But, you know, like that, I still think we probably would have been somewhere similar to here.
And, you know, the rest of the team just aren't getting any better. Like you know, Ollie Watkins, Danny Ings, Jacob Ramsey, you can go through the whole team.
They're not improving. They're regressing.
They've regressed. Like JJ's not the player he was last season.
Yeah. McGinn like shouldn't even be on the pitch yet. He's got the captain's armband. Putting him as captain was probably the worst thing Gerrard could have done. We all know that.
Emmy's the captain, in my opinion. He's a lead.
I
feel bad for Emmy. I feel for him.
I honestly think Martinez is gone. You hear in some of his interviews, I'd like to this, I'd like to that, but we'll focus on, you know, the task at hand now. If this guy starts for Argentina, he's probably a top 3 keeper in the Prem. But I reckon his confidence is shit right now.
Yeah, the whole team's is. It's clear.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, a bit of a serious. Who do we get in realistically? Like, why would Potter leave Brighton to come to this shit heap?
He wouldn't. I don't think he would.
No, I don't
exactly.
Think, I don't.
Well,
think
I mean, there's the Villa tie. Like, you've got some coaches saying, well, it's a task maybe they want to take on. If he can be the man to bring Villa back to where we belong, awesome. But
I just
it's
think
also
it's
also a bit of a poison chalice in some ways for these managers. Like, they know that the Villa fans can turn pretty quick, and
we have turned very quick.
We're like a Wish.com Man United. You think about it, that team's been poisoned for years. Hopefully, Ten Hag can turn it around. But
look, we're going through a difficult sort of 20-year spell. All right, but
20. You've been generous.
Yeah, all right, 30. But yeah, it's I know it really takes the life out of me to think we're back where we started again.
I know. So much. Everyone said, should we have given Smith time? Because it doesn't seem like Gerrard's done much. Yes, he's attracted players. I think he'd be a great football director.
Yeah, and Smith's doing quite well with Norwich in the Championship.
Yeah, but they've got a they're not quite good enough for the Prem, but they're not they're too good for the Champ. It's that kind of side.
I feel like Smith was the one breeding youngsters, so I feel like maybe Archer would have got a sniff by now. I do think that Rogenbaum deserves to start. He's put in some solid performances for the team. Him and Kamara would be deadly in the midfield. Even Nakamba, we all said like Nakamba just got outcasted all of a sudden. And all of a sudden, I think they've said we're listening to offers for him. Like, what's going on? Yeah. And I don't think Nakamba's got a toxic personality. I think he's a great person to be around. Yeah, so these Africans are just happy to play.
We definitely can't get rid of him. He's or we have to replace him if we do. And we're running out of time with the transfer window closing.
Well, also, there's a few players on the out already. Apparently, El Ghazi's going to PSV. Gilbert's might be going. They've only want €2 million for him now. Samson
left. Clubs have asked Villa to halve their $3 million asking price. I'm like, geez, I just find it funny. We never really make money on players, apart from Grealish, but we sign these guys and then we sell them for like half the price. Like Wesley, all right, that was unfortunate for him, but yeah.
Wesley's on loan anyway. He could still be a hero, so.
Yeah, let's get him back. Yeah, it's really I'm really at a loss to see where we go from here. I think one of the things that I noticed in the game last night that was very evident was how slow the build-up is at time, especially in that first half. Like I said before, where we had the ball, we were creating some chances, and we were sort of on top in the game. West Ham were absolutely rubbish. We weren't much better than them, but we were certainly on top. And I think that when the ball goes to Kamara and Louise and McGinn, it very often, I don't know, they get back, they set up West Ham, and then we have to sort of start to break them down all over again.
Yeah, no, 100%. And what I think they were massively for the taking, right, is their fullbacks were humming up the field. And we just took 400 years to get the ball into the box. And then we would do 400 repeated crosses. Zuma would header it out, come back again, cross it again. It's not working. Don't fucking cross it in again. It hasn't worked all season. We tried it against Bournemouth. It didn't work. We tried it against Palace. It didn't work. We've gone to literally playing through Digne. I mean, I think Troy sent our field map, and it was just so down the left-hand side of the field. It was ridiculous. Yeah. We just love giving it to Digne, him crossing the ball. And in my opinion, two pretty short strikers, for headering the ball was. Zuma towers over both of them.
That's right. And it would take a long time to get the ball into the box as well. If you're going to play balls into the box, you want to have like Ollie and Ings running onto the ball, moving in the box, but they're sort of just standing up there and kind of waiting for something to happen, because we are sort of dicking around with the ball in the middle of the field a bit too much, where I feel as if, I don't know if it's because Kamara is from League One
but he's our best player. I don't give it. He's our best player.
I mean, I think he is, but I also think he needs to sort of just up the pace a little bit. But
that's all from training, Scotty. He'd be doing what he's been told to do. The amount of times we had the ball, then went back to Emmy, because West Ham had 11 players behind the ball, and we'll just keep trying to go through back to Emmy again. It's just, I don't know. We had so much of the ball, and as you said, they were for the taking. We could have easily scored 2 or 3 in that first half, and probably should have. But
that's it.
Our final ball into the box was shocking. I think we had so many long shots from outside the box that didn't work. I think was it Buendia played a ball to Ings in the second half, which on another day it might be a perfect ball to him, but we're just a little bit off.
But that's the only real sort of chance I can think of, apart from the disallowed goal.
Yeah,
talk about typical Villa. I mean, like when that goes in, I'm thinking, that's here we go, come on, and then I'm like, what? How it can't be offside? Like what? There was no foul. Like what? And then the ball went.
The ball goes out of play.
Yeah,
like how often does that happen though, man? Like, I think the commentator said it as well. Like that is just such a like you see him disallowed offside, handball, whatever. You never see a ball go out of play.
Never see that.
Typical Villa, that happens, and
then the deflection as well. It's just like they must have got in at halftime, West Ham, and David Moyes must have said to them, "This lot are absolutely fucking atrocious, and we're making them look good because we're sitting back and giving them way too much respect. What are we doing?" And then he brings on Ben Rama, who always plays well against us. I don't, it's when he was on the bench to start with, I was like, okay, that's good. And then as soon as he comes on, I just had that feeling he was going to be a bit of.
But I knew bloody Fornals was going to score. He always scores against the Villa,
and he's the other one. He's the other one.
Like Jared Bowen was shocking. Samaka was pretty average, but I knew that Fornals and Ben Rama, maybe Antonio, who is the biggest flop by the way, just goes down for everything. I knew they were going to have a big game. And Declan Rice, God, he's a good player. He is a good player.
But like you said, I don't think he had his best game. He's a few
of his passes. Very, very good second half.
Yeah, exactly. When it matters, like he came to the fore, as did Souček and a few of their other sort of big name players, and they never really looked like conceding ever. Can you
remember Fabianski making an actual save? Like besides the ones that were like from 40 yards out, I can't remember him being forced into action at all.
No. I mean, like you said, Coutinho had a shot from distance.
Ramsey.
Leon Bailey had a shot from distance. Ramsey had a shot from distance. But there was nothing there to make you really think that West Ham were, worried or, that we were going to score. Ollie Watkins looks totally like without confidence. Danny Ings looks frustrated. It seems like every time the ball's knocked to Ings, he's like saying, "No, I want it like this, not like that, like this." And I mean, if we're still at that stage where the players around him don't know, does he like it to feet? Does he like it on his chest? Does he like it in behind? Then we're
in trouble.
Yeah. Well, what's happening on the training field?
That's what I mean. Clearly nothing. Clearly not much, because these guys have been playing together. You got to think the core team we've got have been playing together for a year. Just about now, like just maybe 9 months, had a whole pre-season together. And if we can't find out where their lob balls go, their direct passes go to players that use their strengths, I mean.
And like you said earlier, they are quality players. When we signed Danny Ings, we were all like, yes, this is exactly what we've needed. A proven goal scorer in the Premiership that's going to get you 15 goals every single year. On his good years, he'll get you 20, right? But no, he can't score to save his life. I know he does have a couple this season, but, last season was very, very quiet for him. Ollie Watkins, the other one, under Dean Smith, when Grealish was there and everything, banging in the goals. He got the first 15 goals in the Premiership for us for a long time. And then, since Benteke. And then, and then Smith goes, Grealish goes, and his confidence goes. So
I think losing Grealish is really affecting those sort of players. Like Matt Targett, for example, when we had him, he wasn't the same player without having Grealish on the left. Watkins isn't the same player without Grealish. And I think a bigger one is John McGinn is not the same player without Grealish.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day.
I think we got Grealish, 100 mil, but he was priceless to us.
Yeah, I think Grealish really lifted him up, in a way. Yeah, because they were best mates, and because I think Grealish knew his game so well that he got him the ball in the right areas in the right times and that sort of thing. But I also think that he's just gone downhill for one reason or another.
So
it's really scary. I don't know what to say about him. I think Digne, again was like defensively a bit shaky in this game.
My mate that's an Everton fan, he said he's so good going forward. He is so good, but his defending is terrible.
No,
and you see that. Yeah. Like his ball into the box 9 times out of 10, well, 1 time out of 10 last game is very, very good.
Yep.
But just defensively, like he's just not there.
And he did look up for it. I mean, I think he definitely wasn't one of the worst ones out there.
No, not at all.
You know, like Louise, things looks a lot better in the midfield with Louise. So that was a positive. Coutinho,
he played okay. He started well. Yeah,
I thought well.
Yeah. But I think my ideal team would be obviously Mings probably comes back in. Hopefully, I think Conte's actually played all right, to be honest. Maybe an unchanged back 4. And then I'd love to see a Kamara, Louise, JJ, Coutinho, and then the front 2. I think McGinn has to be dropped, and just to see how it goes. He hasn't played well. He hasn't warranted a start. Obviously, I'm not saying, it's bullshit if he plays. He's the captain. I understand that. He's one of our best midfielders, but I'd love to see something different because what we go back to when it's Kamara, JJ, and McGinn, it doesn't work, and we struggle. So we need to try something different.
Yes, when it's McGinn, JJ, and Kamara, there isn't enough sort of fight in there.
No,
work rate, defensive nous. Louise brings a bit of that. So yeah, that seemed a lot better. But I like maybe we don't have enough defensive nous in the back 4. I've been starting to think that, like, you know, we've got these attacking fullbacks, right? That aren't defending very well. And I'm thinking, are we in a position where we can have this expansive game where we have these attacking fullbacks, or do we need fullbacks who can defend? And
I don't know, because that's something that Cash is really decreasing, because he was defensively sold as a rock, I think, a couple of years ago. And he's just kind of lost that ability. Like he's losing his man so often now, and he looks like he's lost half the time. I actually thought, to be fair, our fullbacks played quite well against West Ham. I thought they were okay. No. I can't remember any real clear-cut, like, shit they're going to score, they should have scored, besides that Jared Bowen one, which they got back and defended really well. Emmy didn't have to make a save, really. And it's just one of those days. I know they've got to, roll the socks up and go again. They've got 3 or 2 really, really hard games coming up. And then I'm there. So, I could lift the boys. Scotty,
Oh, mate, I hope you do. Because I don't know. Do you think that Steven Gerrard will be there when you're there?
I think he will be. I think you got to think he's playing probably the 2 best teams in the league right now. The Leicester game's very, very crucial. Then Southampton after that. I think if we don't beat Southampton and Leicester and Leeds, then I think he should be gone when I get home.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think that. Yeah, I mean, if we can get anything out of these next 2 games, it's a bonus.
That's what I mean. I would take 2 points. I would honestly bite your hand off for 2 points now, but you never know.
I would take 1 point.
Well, I'm saying, you never know. We could magically get 6. And Villa fans, he's a genius. I've loved him, backed him in. Yeah. But I think there's big problems. Yeah. And I don't know what he's going to have to do. I think the 2 CDMs worked. I really do think it worked. And I think definitely against the bigger boys, like against City and Arsenal, he has to do that. It's crucial he does that.
And I think he will. Even maybe Nakamba or someone might be brought in for those games.
But you got to think positively, though, Scotty, because last season, I know we lost the game. But Man City, we were 2-0 up. We're 2-0 up. So it proves we can take it to them. We can take it to them, but we have to do it for 90 minutes. Like for 70 minutes, that game we were untouchable. They scored 3 goals in 9 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And they do now have a Norwegian striker who's in pretty good form. So
he's no good, is he?
Yeah.
By the way, I scored 90 points on fantasy. I'm a gun. 90 points this week on fantasy, Prem.
What?
I will take that. Harlan captain.
Nice. That's pretty good. I actually beat you in our little league that we you don't even look at it, do you?
No, not draft. I'm all head to head,
mate. But I had Luis Diaz and he did quite well. 2 goals.
He's good.
Some assists and stuff. So yeah, but as far as Villa goes, goals and assists are not happening. They're not even looking like happening. Do you think we could see anyone come in this last week of the transfer deadline window? Anyone coming in attack, in midfield, defense?
We need a midfielder, but I think we'll probably get Bednarek from Southampton, and apparently Craig Dawson we're linked to, and he's a very he's old, but he is just a decent centre back, and I think he'll do the job. He's done the job for West Ham for the last 3 or 4 years, and I would take him. I would you got Chambers out for a year, give him a 2-year contract. I'd love to see Dawson.
Look, at this moment, I think we take him for sure.
But he's a Premier League professional.
He's not the kind of player you want to sort of like
depend on.
Yes, or kind of like build around. But
you can't.
Yeah, but
for what we're going through right now, he's perfect.
Yeah,
and I think we just need another general in midfield. I think attacking wise, the goals will come if they get the right service. They're not getting the right service, and you can see how frustrated they are. Like, I don't know what we need. I think we need a Morgan Sanson kind of player in midfield.
Okay, but a good one.
Yeah, like someone like this all-round good game. You know, like, I don't know who'd you go for, but...
like Steven Gerrard, the coach, but when he was a player.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, why
can't he maybe improve some of these midfielders we've got? Like, because you think like he was one of the greatest midfielders ever to play in the Premier League.
I think it's just we're leaking goals when we shouldn't be leaking goals. Like, if McGinn tracks Fornals, he doesn't score that goal.
Right.
If Cash doesn't get too caught up against Palace, Zaha doesn't score that goal. And these things change, you know, things change. Like a game of football changes in one moment.
And a coach can't,
predict these moments. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
He's
not responsible for individual errors, but it does seem like it's a bit deeper than that. Like it
does.
Gerrard hasn't really wowed me tactically. I've never really seen anything from him that's made me go,
there's no plan B.
So yeah, he's done that and we look better now.
There's no plan B though. Like, you look at David Moyes, he went 5 at the back. He thought, all right, we'll try it. Half time, not working, change it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're not playing well, change it. Where we kind of just kept rolling, made some changes.
Man, it's
and then through
it's
5
Gerrard's,
strikers on.
It's Gerrard's formation or die. It seems like he's so rigid with it.
We need to play 4-3-3. Leon Bailey's got to play on the right. I think that's the best formation for us. I mean, it worked under Smith really well.
We're basically playing a 4-3-3 now. It's just that
it's weird. It's a weird
Coutinho is like a false 9.
Yeah.
So it's not that much different to his original sort of his Rangers setup or whatever, or what he brought in when we first came in. But instead of having like Leon Bailey on the right, you've got Danny Ings, who's not really as comfortable in that position. You've got Coutinho, who has to, defend from the front as like the number 9 when we don't have the ball, which he's not good at.
No.
So, yeah, it's just like it feels very much like he's picking the team and then he's like, oh, but I want to get him in, so I've got to do this, and but I want to play this way, so maybe him. And
Gerrard's just got to stop picking his mates, and he's got to pick the best team that will win games for Aston Villa.
Yeah,
and it's come to a point where everyone said he wants the Liverpool job, he wants to step up. Well, at the moment, I don't see him get another job in the Premier League, let alone fucking the Liverpool job in 5 years. He's got to pull the boys out of this. He's got to do it. He's got to rev them up somehow. I mean, I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago in the last podcast, Mikel Arteta's, the way he talks to the boys on the Arsenal documentary. Yeah. He's a fierce competitor. He is such a good manager, the way he communicates with the boys. I would love to see an Aston Villa documentary. I'd love to see what he's saying to the boys right now, because at the moment, nothing is working what he's saying. And I'd love to see why, because players like Pep, the managers like Pep Guardiola, Arteta now at the moment, they drill into their boys. They're so passionate with them. They're with them. They ride every bump with them, and if it doesn't work out, I'll cop it for you boys. I'll cop it. You guys got to be better than this. But Gerrard, I'd love to see what's going on.
There is rumors that it's not a very happy change room right now. Like, that's
what I've heard.
I've heard many things. I don't know how true they are, but the rumors that I've heard are, threefold. One, they're not very happy with Gerrard. They're not very happy. They're not very happy with the way he treats the players, his coaching style. Maybe he's a little bit too short and, angry at times. I don't know. But people aren't happy with Gerrard. The second thing is he's not happy about all these new players that have come in since Gerrard has been the coach that are getting paid way more than the others. That's the second thing I've heard. So Coutinho, Diego Carlos, these Kamara, I'm sure their wages are.
Oh, they would be. They would
Yeah.
be. But to get these type of players to sign for the club, you got to up your wage bill. And unfortunately, if we offered Kamara any less, he'd be an athletic Madrid player.
Right.
That's
But
how I see it.
yeah, and I agree with you. But I also, understand that maybe a Ollie Watkins or a Tyrone Mings is like, hang on, I've been here for 3 years or whatever, and
Yeah, but
I've been doing it, and I'm not on that.
He just signed, I think Watkins, for example, signed a new contract, I think not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. He would have got a pay rise. There'd always be incentives. If you do this, you get bonuses, you get a pay rise, you get this kind of stuff. So why don't they just go hit their targets? Why don't they get their goals? Why don't they get their bonuses? And then they can stop complaining. It's up to them. The thing is, the bonuses are in the contracts for a reason. You get rewarded if you play well.
I agree with you. And I think, if they're getting paid 60,000, 100,000 a week, whatever it is,
take that money.
it's great money, and that shouldn't be what's making them sulk and play badly. The other thing is the Purslow thing. Gerrard and Purslow, I've also heard that many of the players don't like the fact that they are so close because they feel as if they can't go over Gerrard's head to Purslow and maybe say, look, what's going on here? These tactics are shit, when they know that those guys are best mates. So they're the three complaints.
Worst thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's the worst thing. It's like when it's, for example, a real life sort of thing. It's like when you're at a workplace and your best mate's dating someone and that guy's fucking up. You can't tell your mate about the person that's fucking up because they're going to both hear about it anyway. So you got to be careful.
Yes, you do. And if the change room is a toxic place at the moment, and the players are not getting along with the manager and that sort of thing, that's only going to really accelerate any talk of Gerrard out. I think this game against West Ham has been the first time I've seen it in like non-Villa media. This sort of, it's now in the wider world that Gerrard's,
Villa fans aren't happy.
Yeah.
Norwich, Burnley, and Everton are 3 wins.
That says it all.
That says it all, mate.
Two of them aren't in the Premier League anymore, and the other one is, struggling and could have beaten us in that game.
They should have. I think they should have. Scottie. Honestly, I think they should have.
It's terrible. And we talk about he's got to get something from Leicester, Southampton, and Leeds after the 2 tough matches this week. I'm struggling to think how that's going to happen unless we get some players in this last week, get some players in, get some confidence, and actually, maybe playing against Arsenal and West Ham and Man City,
take the shackles off. Take the shackles off. I reckon.
And we no pressure, just sort of go out there and get some cohesiveness, get some cohesion going, and actually start playing with some confidence. But look, we'll wrap it up there because the other guys couldn't be with us, unfortunately, tonight. Tommy was for a little bit on his way home, but he's cut out as well. But thank you all for supporting. We're sorry we didn't actually do a video for Bolton.
Very busy.
Yes, we've been very busy, but that game, it wasn't much to talk about. He didn't make the changes we expected, and
no. I'll tell you what, though, we were shit for fucking the first 30 minutes or so. We were losing to League One Bolton.
We were.
And I'm not gonna lie, if the quality didn't shine through, there were serious issues, in my opinion.
Well, it just showed that we have a deeper squad than they do, and as you would expect. And the last half an hour was decent without being great either. The Luca Digne goal was bizarre. The way the keeper came out for that. Well, that was some League One goalkeeping if I ever saw it. And Dougie Luiz scoring straight from the corner. Who knows if he doesn't do that, what happens in that game. So, but we, coming off that, I was thinking, all right, Leon Bailey in the team this week. He got a goal. There's Dougie Luiz in the team. He got a goal. This could be good, but
it could be good. It should have been good.
But Bailey wasn't in the team. Dougie Luiz got pulled off, So I don't, it's all very bizarre at the moment. So please, let us know how you're feeling, what your predictions for these upcoming games are going to be. What are your predictions for Steven Gerrard and his position at the club? If he was to go, who would you like to see come in? Please like and subscribe.
Almost 400 subs, Scottie. 379 at the time of filming, so flying.
It's going bonkers at the moment. So please I know it's a bit painful on the pitch, but hopefully these podcasts are helping you get through it a little bit. And we will be back for the Arsenal game, and we will definitely be doing one for that. So we will see you later in the week up the Villa, and we'll see you then.